All right, I think we're live. I had a little trouble getting on. I'm probably not the only one doing live streams these days. And today I was going to do a Q&A live stream with you. So if you have any watercolor questions, I am here to answer them. And I already got some questions. Somebody both Facebooked me and Instagrammed me and also sent me emails with some questions. So I'm going to start with those. And then if you have questions you would like me to answer or things you want me to show you in watercolor, please start your question with question, the word question in all caps, and then put your question not in all caps, but just regular. So I don't miss your question. That way it's easier for me to spot. So I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see what I'm doing, and I'm going to get started. Here we go. And let me see if I can adjust my light. I just uploaded a YouTube video. No, not a YouTube, a Skillshare video, sorry. And there was really a bad glare on my paper on some of the filming, so that was super annoying. But anyway, here we are. And let me start with Deborah Gray. She had sent in a question, how to paint a purple background for the daffodils. I had just last week, I think it was, uploaded a video on YouTube with painting daffodils 3 ways. And one of the daffodils was this little one where I painted this background. And so, Deborah, if you want to see how to paint this background, you just watch that YouTube video that I have uploaded. So there you can see how I did it, but I can explain. I like to put dark backgrounds on a lot of my florals just because it really makes the flowers. And here I painted the flower first, and then I wet. You can either wet the paper or you can go in with really wet paint. I actually think here I went in with really wet paint. And I did cobalt blue, some French ultramarine blue, and some purple and some yellow for those faint leaves that you kind of can see there. And the whole key is that you have to be fast so that the paint doesn't dry on you and you get all sorts of brush strokes. So it takes a little practice. And again, you can watch that right here on my YouTube channel, Eva Nichols Art. And it's one of the latest YouTube videos that I have uploaded. So it should be welcome. Good to see you. So that was the answer to Deborah's question on how to paint that background. And that actually, I'll take it here again. Painting the background, when you're painting around the subject matter, that's actually also called negative painting. And there was somebody else, Sylvia Alfonso, she wanted me to talk about negative painting. So negative painting is basically when you paint the background, not the actual subject matter, but the area around or surrounding the subject matter. That's what we call negative painting. And then I also got a question from, I think that was from Deborah too. She also wanted to know how to paint snow. And I have a lot of videos up on YouTube where I show how to paint snow. And one of them is called Easy Winter Landscape in Watercolor. And I also have a 2-parter that's an old video, but it's still, I think, very informative. And that is called Snow on Evergreens 1 and Snow on Evergreens 2. So those 2. And then Susan Fagan, she wanted to know how to save whites and create more depth. to save whites, either you paint around the white, or you use masking fluid, or you can also lift out. Those are the three ways that you can save the whites or recoup the whites. And I have a little Magpie here that I thought I wanted to show you. Magpies, they are basically black and white. And I wanted to show you how you can very quickly paint this little Magpie. And I hope you can see it. Let me see. Is the lighting better, worse? If I do like that. Not. It's a little tricky, with the setup I have here. I am not in my regular studio. I have been using this makeshift studio at my daughter's house. So let's just try and paint this Magpie really quickly. So I'm going to get some peacock blue, or you could use phthalo blue. Let me see if I can get in so you can see. Like that, it's better. And get a nice puddle of that. Maybe I want a little standby out here. Let's see. There, let's see. There. Hopefully that's better. Get my brush out. I want to get some permanent magenta. I think is what I have here. Yep, permanent magenta. So that's kind of a dark reddish purple color. And I am going to get, I have my green gold there. I can use that one. And there I think I have Antwerp blue. It's this one here. There's that. And I think I might get a little bit more of that. Antwerp blue. And then I'm going to get a little bit of yellow over here. No, I don't have black on my palette. I don't like to paint with black. I basically like to paint with the primary colors, but I have variations of them. So they're not like pure primary colors, but variations of them. And what else do I want? I think I want some indigo. Of course, for the black. Indigo is a very dark blue. I'm painting with indigo from Winsor Newton. Red also. So let's get a little bit of red out. That's connect here. There. So I should be all set. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to wet the whole black area. So here we go again. I think it would be really nice if I bought a new camera, but don't really know which one to buy. That would be better and not be outrageously expensive, if any of you have any idea. So let's take a look here. Sharon, hi Sharon from Reno, and Sylvia, there you are. Hey, how are you? And Eva from Leaks is Vicky. Yeah, hi Vicky. You showed up. And Birgit, hi Birgit. Birgit is a fantastic watercolor artist. I mean, she is just the best. She is, Birgit, I consider you my mentor. I have taken a lot of Birgit's wonderful watercolor classes, and I actually am a guest instructor on Birgit's teachable watercolor school. And Birgit has a lot of wonderful workshops, both live, which I have had the pleasure of been taking many times in the past, and now she has a ton of great courses online. And Birgit is really, she's my inspiration. because she really, really explains how, how she does things. She doesn't do just like some teachers, I feel they just kind of do stuff and they don't really tell you what they do. Oh, thank you, Birgit. Hi, Deborah Gray. How are you? Let's see here. So I put a little bit of red on there because, it's black, but it's also very iridescent. So I want to get some of those lighter colors in as we go. And this will be a very loose and just an interpretation of a magpie. And I think I want a little bit of the purpley color here. And then we can do a little bit of the red maybe here on the beak. And then a little bit of the yellow there. And I want a little bit of yellow here. And you can see it's all very wet. And now let's go in some of that indigo. And I'm going to paint some of the darks, but I want to be careful that I don't cover up all the lighter colors that I have. And this is just the first layer. I'll probably have to go in and doctor it up a little bit afterwards, but it's a good start at least. Or we hope it's a good start. Hi, Sue. So nice to see familiar faces now that we're all, separated and haven't seen each other for a long time. So it's really nice. I mean, you know what? I mean, as bad as it is, aren't we lucky we live in times where we can do this and we have, it's the internet, Birgit. Thank you so much. Yeah, it drives me nuts because I feel that my camera is not up to par, but I think the internet is really overloaded with all this Zoom meetings and live streams and all this stuff we have going on. And so here it's really dark. Here, just gonna do like this. And I'm trying to get around everywhere, and I keep it very wet because, I don't want anything to dry on me. I would like for the colors to just flow into each other and do their own thing. That's why I love watercolor. That's why I fell in love with watercolor. Not as easy to be loose as one should think. Actually. So let's go in here and do this. And there's a little white here. You can see on the other side. And get some more. That dark. Get it to mix and mingle. And I want to also just go in and get a little bit more of that permanent magenta in here. So this guy is a little bit purpley right here. They change colors, as the light hits the feathers that are iridescent, black iridescent. Thank you, Birgit. Well, in my home studio I have better lighting, but I am in Ogden, Utah, helping take care of my little granddaughter Sophia while mom and dad are busy working. My daughter is a professor at the university, and it's last week of the finals and everything's online, and they work from home. They really, really needed help with Sophia because she's 14 months now, and let me tell you, she's an active girl and very curious, and so she gets into all sorts of trouble if you don't watch her, like all kids that age. So let's see here. I think I just want to leave it a little bit like that for now. Got to let that eye dry and Just fix the beak a little bit, maybe. Put a little bit more red and yellow on. Now, this is not for, you know, a bird book, so to speak. This is just for fun. So there we have it. And what I'm showing you here is this is one way of leaving the whites. And now I cleaned my brush and took most of the water out. I think I want to just soften here a little bit, just so it's not so harsh. So I'm just touching in with my damp brush, and I need to clean it again. And same down here on the chest here. There. And then let's get a little bit of, it's going to be not bright white right underneath the belly here, because, you know, it's going to cast a shadow on itself. So let's just get a little bit of basically dirty water we have here. And before it dries, let's just make sure we don't get one of those nasty ghost lines. Don't like those. And here I'm just going to let it flow a little bit. There goes the camera. All right. And let's see here. Just fudge this out a little bit more. And then I think I want to go in with just a tiny brush and get a little bit of a darker color on the bottom of the beak. And the beak is already dry enough that I can go in. And I took some of my permanent magenta and I'm going to put a little bit of that green in. And the indigo, and I'm putting a little bit of green in and a little bit more of that. You know, that's basically, if you mix all three primary colors together, you're going to get neutrals or blacks, depending a little bit on, you know, how much water, etc. There's that. And then let's take a little detail brush and just smudge it a little bit. There. And then give this little guy an eye. Need black for that too. So it's going to go in. Put a dark eye in. And we have to remember when we're doing live things, don't forget they need a little white glint in the eye. I think I just want to do it like that. Can always, I don't know if you can see, if I carefully lift it up. It's still wet. So let's go down there a little bit. And I want to just smudge the big beak a little bit more here. Just here, just take, so it's not so harsh. And then we need his little feet. And I'm going to make them not too black, a little brownish. And like that. And again, we're not going to go crazy on these here because that's not the focal area by any stretch of the imagination. So let's go in, give him a little foot. And then we're just going to kind of give it a little spray and maybe cast a little shadow underneath him. Dark up there. And then when everything else fails, you know how I like to just get get my little dot bottle out and give it a little spray. Got a little spray on the bird too, but I think that worked out okay. And let's just take a big old brush so we don't fiddle too much. And I'm just going to ground him a little bit. Just dipping around in the puddles there. And there is that. And then I can do just a little tiny bit. And I'm just going to do like that with a big old brush, lots of water. And go down a little bit more, some of that red, so we can kind of see that he is actually, go over those legs, there's that, go over that leg, smudge it a little bit, and a little bit more of the blue here so that it kind of matches. And then I'm just going to take water and let that just kind of bleed out. And the same here around his little beak. And this is a very, very quick and loose interpretation of a magpie. We don't have magpies in Truckee where I live, but there's magpies here in Ogden. And I just saw a bunch of them this morning when I went for a walk. There. Just let that be like that. Just splatter a little bit. If everything else fails, you can always splatter, right? So to get back to the questions, this was actually, I think, Deborah, it was you that asked about negative painting. So, and saving the whites, that was Susan. So this is one way of saving the whites, is simply paint around them. So that's one way of saving the whites. You can also save them by putting masking fluid or masking tape on. And you can, not exactly, putting masking fluid or masking tape on. And you can not exactly out later with either a scrubber brush or Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. There. I'm not going to do any more to this, just meant to be a fun little exercise. And once it's dry, I could consider putting a little pen work on it, or it'll just go into the pile of fun experiments. So let's see, I'm catching up. Let's see. So there we go. Yeah, it is tricky with the lighting and the whole setup when you're doing live streams. And you are dependent, as you said, Birgit, with the live streams, and you don't really have, I mean, you know, the internet connection, it is what it is. So anyway, we do the best we can. And oh, Deborah, thank you. I'm lucky too. I'm a lucky grandma, because I know there's a lot of grandmas out there, and they're just really, really missing their little grandkids. And I don't blame them at all for being sad about that, because that was also something I would be very, very sad about. And luckily, we all stayed, you know, isolated for 3 weeks, and then I drove out right before everything closed, and then I've been here since. And we are not mingling with anybody. We're just staying home, and they're busy working, and I'm busy playing with Sophia. Okay, Birgit, we'll catch up. Thank you so much. What do you like best about 300-pound paper, Sharon? I like best that it doesn't buckle. And actually here I painted on 140-pound, just because these are just little quick sketches. And it does buckle a little bit, but you know, you can always wet it on the back with your spray bottle if it buckles too much, if you're doing really wet into wet, and then it'll lay flat for you again. And the bonus is that it'll actually also stay wet longer, so you have a longer time to paint. So let's see. I had a couple more. So another question I got was about painting snow. So I thought I could just do a quick little, again, it'll be just very quick. It's not going to be, you know, for these things, it's not going to be like wonderful frameable paintings, most likely. But just enough to show you. So I just back of the painting here. And, you know, you can paint on both sides, especially when you're just having fun and experimenting with things. Just don't feel too precious about your paper. So let's see here. I'm going to go in, and I'm just going to go in with some indigo here. Isn't that gorgeous? Just love it. Some indigo, and just let it run out. Gorgeous. Just love it. Some indigo, and just let it run out. And I can go in then with some of my peacock blue, and just paint up here. And just let it get lighter, lighter, lighter. I could even go in and do a little bit of the, why not? So I'm just painting the background, basically sky or whatever, winter sky. So can you see? This is my foreground, this is my background. And let's see, I need some cobalt blue. Cobalt blue is such a good color for this. What I'm showing you now is going to be how to paint snow. And I think, Deborah, that was you that asked me that question. And so I have cobalt blue there, and I want to gray it down a little bit so I can use, oops, you can't see that. I'm going to use a little bit of my birch in my book. So now I'm just going to take a little bit of the peacock blue. And I still don't like it. So I'm going to go back and get some more cobalt. There. I think that's good. And then have it quite watered down. And then look here. I'm going to split it up. So let's say that this is a snowbank and it comes down like this. And then right away, I'm going to go in with a clean damp brush and loose that edge on this side. Sure it doesn't run up in my. And can you see how I kind of split up the foreground there now? So now it's like there's a snowbank behind there, and it can be a little bit, you can make that a little bit darker. It will be darkest at the bottom and lightest at the top, because, you know, no matter how little light, it still comes from above. And so you always want to have that lightest and then darker at the bottom. It's kind of opposite of what we do with skies. And you could also, if you're afraid of getting a line, let's make it this time. I'm going to go like this with a little bit of water first. I don't know if you can see the shine. I'm not sure you can. And let's go in and then put the color on. So a snow shadow color is, I like to use cobalt as my base and then gray it down with a little tiny bit of burnt sienna. But don't make it too brown, because then it looks like you're painting dirty snow. And who wants to paint dirty snow? I certainly don't. So here you can see, created another snowbank. And it's as simple as that. And again, normally I would wait until things dried and stuff, but we don't have that luxury today. And then my last thing I would want to paint is, like, down here, I would want to put a little bit of shadow that's a little bit darker down here in the corner, just to kind of, I would say, to push you into the picture. And again, I could have wet it first, but it's just the principle I want to show you. Here you go. There. And there we have the foreground split into some snow. And if you want to see more about how to paint snow in more detail, I have a bunch of videos on my YouTube channel where you can see that. And one of them that is really good for this is one that's called Easy Winter Landscape in Watercolor, Easy Winter Landscape in Watercolor. And I'll put the links underneath here when we're done with the live stream. And I also have another one, I think I mentioned it in the beginning of the live stream, Snow on Evergreens. It's one of the very first YouTube videos I did years ago, but it's still valid. Certain things don't change, and how you paint snow is one of them. And so there you have that. And let's see, anything else I was asked. So we did the daffodils. Deborah, did you hear that? You can just watch this painting daffodils in watercolor 3 ways, and there you can see in that video exactly how I do the background. And let me do one more thing that would be kind of fun to do really, really quick. How about a little negative painting and saving whites all in one go? How about that? That could be kind of fun. So here we have just a quick little sketch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the light's coming from here. So I'm going to leave this white. I'm going to leave this white. So it can't be as white as where the light hits. So we got to give it a little bit of color. So I put a little tiny bit of water in there. And I can just go with that same grayed down blue. I can grade down even a little bit more maybe here. And let's just get a little bit of color on here. Doesn't have to be much. Just a little bit. There. And then obviously this side here is a similar. If it's also white, we'll just pretend it's white. It's our house. We can do whatever we want, right? So here. So we just very quickly want to take away the whites, or paint the whites that are in shadow, so they're not bright white. And the same on the chimney up here. That side here is in the shadow, and so is this little thing here. Then let's do a fun red-ish roof. And I think we can hopefully paint it like from here. And again, don't expect a masterpiece, but brighten up that burnt sienna a little bit because I want it nice and bright. And then we do just like here. And I'm, again, normally out roof here. Let's get that red too. And here maybe we put a little bit more yellow in because the sunlight is hitting it. So we want to put a little sunshine in on that one. And I always flip my paintings around so that I don't get my hands in wet paint. And so that I can do the strokes as easily as possible. So let's get this one. And now I'm going to take some of the pigment off, and I'm just going to drag it up like this. There's that. There. And can you see how this is a little bit lighter? So that's kind of nice. And then before this dries, let's go in and get some French ultramarine blue, and we'll mix it in here so we have kind of like a bluish gray color. Could be great for shadow because there's going to be a shadow like here where that chimney is. It's going to be dark up underneath there too. This little thing. And this side of whatever it is also will be dark. And maybe I'll paint these two red. And then what else? We also want to get a little bit more reddish, but dark. So here on this side, see a little bit roof. And I'm going to just, while it's still damp, I'm going to give it a couple of little lines like this to give it a little character. And let's do the same here on the big roof, just to indicate some of that texture, whatever, on the roof. And there'll also be a little bit darker here. So let's put some of that in here. And then these windows. Again, I'm going over in the more blue. Just put those in. And again, it's just a loose, very loose rendering. And then there's going to be a cast shadow. In here, the light's not going to reach. So we just get that gray color there. And there'll be a cast shadow, and that one will be dark underneath this, this roof where it hangs over. It will cast a shadow on that white wall there. I want to darken here a little bit more. There. And can you see very quickly, we have something looks fairly attractive. And let's just grab a big old brush here. Big wash brush. And see if we can just, and I'm leaving a little bit of distance because, things are still kind of wet. And put a little water on here. There. And we'll just dip in the different puddles we have here. And on this side here, just go up like this. And like this. Up here. And now let's just get a little bit blue up here. Just want to show you how you really can make that white stand out so nicely once you get a little bit of a background in around it. And so what I'm doing here is actually negative painting around the house. And just Get a little bit of color in there. And there's that. Can you see how the white of the house stands out a lot more now? And let's see what else we can do just to bring it home. So behind here, we have some evergreens. And let's get some more of that indigo. And we'll just do it like this. And then I'll come in here. So now I'm doing negative painting around the house here. I'm just going to do like this. And then it's super dark there. And I want it super dark on this side. And let's get some green in and super dark around here. And here and here and here. And you can see how we make that house really stand out now. Just get rid of those white sparkles where they don't belong. Right around here. And then we need to get a little closer to the chimney here so that that really stands out too. Here. And then we have some evergreens going up here. There. And a little spray if everything else fails. As you know, I'm a big fan of that. And we want to hear this. Then down here, there's all sorts of grasses. So whenever you have bottoms of houses or rocks or trees, do not have a hard line because, you know, there's stuff there. Let's get this one up, 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 and then who knows what's growing here. All sorts of stuff. And it'll be dark here, somewhat dark. And there you have it, more or less. Some dirt. There. It was just to show you. So here we had negative painting around the house and we're saving the whites. And I think, you know, I mean, you can see if we took our time with it, that could be a very lovely painting. And the brighter the sunlight is, the darker the shadows are. So if I wanted to say that this was a bright, 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 sunny day, you can see, I want you to notice now what happens. Just trying to make a nice shadow color. See what happens now if I go in and darken those shadow sides of these white houses, the white house here. The way to make something look lighter and brighter is actually to put something darker next to it. So when I do this darker, it makes the white areas look whiter. A little bit on like that. I hope you can see that in spite of the camera being a little iffy. But there you have it. And then actually one more. And if we do our cast shadows here, even put a little bit on here, even darker. And you can see how it turns up the light. And you can have a little underneath there. And more here, there. And there you have it. Very, very quick. So let's see. Great. Thanks, Deb. And okay. Can you turn your painting the other direction? So does it? Oh, geez. So hang on a second here. Yes, I can turn my painting this way. There you have it. So there you have it. I hope that I answered some of your questions at least, and that you had a little fun just watching me play around here. And let me just show you the other little birdie that I painted. And there you can see, even though I did not use any black, this little magpie, I mean, it does give the impression, this is just a very loose painting, but it does give the impression of that iridescent bird. So with all that, I will say thank you for stopping by. And I'll try and do some more of these live streams. I am supposed to, if it's possible, home next Tuesday. And then I will be in my own studio, and my lighting, if nothing else, will be a lot better. And if the lighting is better, I think then maybe we can hope. And I also, I think I have, oh, Lena, hey, from Denmark. Thank you for stopping by. You're supposed to be in bed, girl. Anyway, so I think, I mean, I'm hoping it'll be better. And I'm sorry if, did I film this whole thing upside down? Maybe I did. And you stopped by. So do check out my YouTube channel if you haven't already. I have a bunch. I think I have over 100 videos on there. And also, as I said, you know, Birgit O'Connor, who's I'm a guest instructor on her website, and she is a wonderful, wonderful instructor herself. I mean, I have learned so much from Birgit, I can't even tell you. She's my hero when it comes to watercolor. So thank you, Lena. I hope you have a good night. And Robert, thanks for saying you enjoyed my class. And Deborah, thank you so much. Hey, Jean from Reno. I see a bunch from my my watercolor classes that I haven't been able to teach forever, but I think we might as well face the facts that we'll have to do it online for a while. And I am learning every day, so I can give you better content and of a higher quality. So I hope you will stick with me. And if you haven't already, I would really, really appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you want to be advised when I upload a new video, or I have a live stream going on, hit the little bell underneath, and please feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you have questions or comments, it helps a lot to have action on your YouTube channel. And I am inching in on 1,000 subscribers, so that's my goal to hit that mark as soon as possible, because I think from what I've learned, once you have over 1,000 subscribers, then YouTube is better about maybe promoting your channel or putting you higher up on the lists, because there's hundreds of thousands of YouTubers out there, and there's also a lot of wonderful watercolor artists out there. But it's easy to drown in all those channels. So anyway, with that, I wish you a a good evening. Sleep well, Miss Lena. And Vicky, again, thank you for stopping by. I hope Texas is good to you. We're certainly going to miss you. And I will see you soon. I just uploaded to my Skillshare class. I uploaded painting clouds. So if you haven't tried out Skillshare, you can go on my website, beautyonlocation.com, and up just under my picture, you will see a click here for 2 months free subscription to Skillshare if you wanted to test that out. There's lots of great instructors on that one also. So wishing you happy painting. Take good care of yourself. Stay healthy and positive, and keep painting and being creative to save your sanity. See you soon. Checking out. Bye-bye.